Okay, so I was trying to explain the green economy before my internet got interrupted. So I was saying this term green economy emerged around 1989, somewhere there, but it has gained global prominence in the global economic discourse for the past 5 to 10 years down the line. Because the world leaders and economics they are trying to shift to green economies. And why are people or world economies trying to shift to green economies? It's because we are not comfortable with the way of doing business in the traditional economy. As I said, in a traditional economy, you are going to set up industries just for profits, and you are going to focus on profits. You're not going to care about how your profits, your way of gaining profit is affecting the environment, or how you're affecting the lives of the indigenous people in which you are operating. If you are setting up an industry somewhere near the Kabombo River, your main focus will be maximizing your benefits from that operation without you looking at how much that industry is costing the environment and the people that are around that area. So in Africa, this green economy has been supported by international corporations. For example, in 2013, I remember at the 48th African Development Bank annual meetings, African countries pledged or committed to switch to green economies. Okay, so what is a green economy? Simply put, a green economy is an economy that prioritizes the health of the people and the planet, and see these two factors as interlinked. I really don't want to sound technical, but here is a simple explanation. So in a green economy, we have three pillars. We have the population, the people, then we have the planet, and then we have in the middle the planet. So when we talk about the population, you cannot run a country that doesn't have a population. That's a fact. And then you have a population. You need to sustain this population. This population needs basic needs like education, healthcare. So you need money to make sure that these needs are met. And you are only going to get this money from an economy that is growing. And your economy is going to only grow if you have natural resources, to enhance that economic growth. So why world economies are trying to shift to green economies is because in the recent past, people have been avoiding, or people have been ignoring the planetary boundaries, and we've been in a hurry to build economies. So in that hurry to build economies, we have destroyed the environment, and then the environment has had a tendency of hitting back at the very economies that we've been building. So listen, you are in a hurry to build an economy, right? So you set up mining companies everywhere, and when you set up mining companies everywhere, you are not caring about the environment and blah 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 blah. So the environment hits back. And how has the environment been hitting back at world economies? We've seen wildfires, we've seen hurricanes, we've seen droughts, we've seen floods. So when a flood or an environmental disaster comes to an economy, it just destroys everything that you built from start to, like, you build the economy from start to the ground. So the world leaders realize that we can't go on like this. We can grow the economies, yes, but when the environment hits back, it comes to total demolition. So the world realized that we need to switch to green economies. The green economy, as I said, has the three pillars. People have to be healthy. People have to be healthy in a green economy. The planet has to be healthy, and the economy has to grow. That is a cycle. You cannot have an economy that is growing at an expense at the expense of the health of your population. You cannot say, okay, we're just going to grow the economy, we're going to create more industries and create more jobs, and then those industries are polluting the air for your people, and then your people are having respiratory diseases, and when your people are having respiratory diseases, you'll have the money, but you have no lives to enhance. You have no lives to enhance, because you would have destroyed your own population. And then if you're not taking care of the environment, you would have an economy that is growing unsustainably. When you are done, when you are done cutting all the timber, when you are done mining all the gold, when you are done everything that you're doing, at the end of the day, you still need those resources to sustain you. So the main issue here is that businesses don't thrive in failing societies. Businesses don't thrive in failing societies. If there is a flood, how do you go and take a business there? If there is a drought, how do you go and make an investment there? So businesses don't thrive in failing economies, and businesses don't thrive in failing communities, and an economy cannot grow in failing businesses. So if we have people who are not well taken care of, if we have people who are not well taken care of, it means there are problems in their communities. The environment is polluted, the water is polluted, the air is polluted. No business can thrive in such a society. And if a business cannot thrive in such a society, it means that an economy cannot grow. What does green economy entail for Zambia? A green economy entails that a government that commits itself to switch to green economy commits to protect the life of the people, protect the life of the planet. We know that environmental degradation is closely linked to human rights. You cannot say that the people have the right to health when you are polluting the air. Environmental problems have an effect on human rights. You cannot say that the people have the right to clean water, and then you have an industry somewhere that is polluting the water of those people. You are violating the human rights. So when a government commits itself to switch to a green economy, it entails that the government understands that environmental degradation is driven by economic and political forces that are beyond the indigenous people's understanding. It's about knowing that, okay, we know that you live around the Kabompo River, we know that you are affected by the pollution of the Kabompo River, and you as the majority community indigenous people have no power to control the situation, because these are forces that are beyond you. The forces are about power. The forces are about the economy. The forces are about business. It's about knowing that we know that there's a lot of illegal timber logging, but you as the indigenous communities have nothing, no power to do anything, because these forces, they come from beyond. You have a guy who has come to set up an industry near your fields. You go to ask them, they have so much power, they have papers, they have permits, and as a community you cannot do anything. In a green economy, the government commits itself to stand for its people. Like, okay, we know that this starts from up, and we are here to sort this mess out. For Zambia, for example, we have an energy deficit. The president yesterday was talking about an energy deficit, and he said that an economy that has an energy deficit cannot grow. And that's true, because energy, the economy needs energy. The economy needs to be powered for it to grow. The energy deficit right now stands about, in Zambia, approximately 650 megawatts, if I'm not mistaken. So we have that gap, but how do we fill it up? How do we fill it up if we continue doing business as usual? So I think the president is smart, because he has realized that Zambia depends on electricity, And electricity depends on water, and water depends on rain, and rain depends on the climate, and the climate has drastically changed over the years. We have always been crying about water in the Caribbean, water in the Caribbean, water in the Caribbean. It's because the climate is changing. And so the president knows that we can't fill this energy deficit if we continue behaving in a business as usual mode. We have to switch to a green economy. What does it mean to switch to a green economy? It means massive investment in solar energy. Massive investment in solar energy, which will translate into thousands of jobs for young people, the women, and probably the old. It will mean training for we have the perfect climate for this. We have sunlight in Zambia. We are assured at least 365, 24/7, 365. We are assured that at least every day of the year, we will see the sun. So that's enough to harness, to put this solar energy to use, and then cover up our energy deficit, and probably even power our neighboring countries. So when we talk about investment in solar, people will say, okay, this has been done. Yes, in Zambia it has been done. This sector has been, explored. Yes, it has been explored, but it's in terms of small scale projects. It's in terms of small scale projects, because political will has been lacking all along. You find that it's just small projects that have been done by NGOs, and so we have a whole ministry now that is going to focus on this agenda, and then we expect massive investment in this area. How are businesses supposed to conduct themselves in a green economy? Businesses in a green economy, they're supposed to be disciplined. And by discipline, we mean that if you are a company that produces drinks for sale, and you produce containers to package your drinks for sale, in a green economy, you have end user responsibility, which means you as a manufacturer is responsible for where your products will end on the environment. So we see a lot of bottles around. We just pick it, look at the brand, and go straight to the company who is responsible. Because in a green economy, you as a company cannot just end at production. We're going to produce 10 tons of Tuma bottles for drinking water, and then you do not care where these end up. They'll go to Chunga landfill or wherever. Our business is to produce, supply, and get more money. No, not in a green economy. Businesses would have to operate ethically. You've got to be responsible. Give us an idea. Give us a solution to the problem you're putting on the environment. You are producing plastics, a lot of plastic. Where do you want that to go? Tell us. You should be responsible. Give some incentives, like, okay, if you pick a bottle, for example, if you pick an empty Manzi Valley bottle, when you take it back to the manufacturer, you'll be given a 1 kwacha or 2 kwacha because they need to reuse it. A green economy reuses and recycles. So if there are such incentives, you find that people will be competing to pick bottles and bringing them back to the manufacturers. In a green economy, manufacturers and businesses would have to operate in an ethical manner. They have to be responsible of what they produce. This is what we are talking about. So it's just exciting that we have a ministry that is going to formulate these policies and have them implemented, because in the recent past, we didn't have them. What else am I supposed to talk about? People are talking about, this ministry is going to be a liability. Who's going to fund it? In the next 5 years, it will just be wasting and, drawing money from the treasury and wasting resources as it tries to position itself. No. As long as the president and the government places the right people in that ministry, it's not as people perceive it, okay? So the less developed countries, the developing countries, the African countries are in a better position to transition to green economies than the first world. Because, for example, China alone has about 3 million factories. 3 million factories, if I'm not mistaken, but about 3 million factories. How do you go to all those factories and tell them, okay, we are switching to a green economy, you need to do this, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that? It's quite hard, but it's very easy for us as developing countries to switch to a green economy because we don't have a lot of industries, we don't contribute much to carbon emissions, and we have a rich natural capital from which to operate from. So the world leaders committed that the world will shift towards a green economy, and the developed countries are mandated to support the developing countries to have access to finance. So finance is already there. You just need to position yourself as a developing country. Position yourself, put your house in order, put up those policies, show up the plan. What do you intend to achieve? How would you want to switch to this green economy? Then funding is there. It is the mandate of the developed countries to help us, the less developed countries, access finance to transition to the green economy. So money is there. We just needed to commit ourselves. And I think this is a shining example for Zambia. This ministry is really shining at this moment, and I will not be surprised to see that this will be one of the most funded ministries in the next 5 years, because we have international corporations that have committed themselves to fund transitions to green economy. And you've got to have better plans. You've got to have well-articulated ideas. So, for example, there's the Green Climate Fund, there's the World Bank, there's the UN Environment. There are just so many. So when we talk about finance, it's all about putting strategic people in the ministries who are going to, draw up these proposals very nicely and lay down the strategies very well, and people who are good at fundraising, and else there will be access to finance. And I'm very positive that this ministry will be well funded, very well funded, and I think it will be self-sustaining. This is all I had, unless people have questions. How does the Ministry of Green Economy compare to that of Land and Natural Resources? Okay. Thank you, Laxon, for that question. How does the Ministry of Green Economy compare to the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources? I think the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources has the mandate to protect the land and natural resources. I think that's where its mandate lies, to protect Zambia's natural resources. But the Ministry of Green Economy is a ministry that has come to make use of the resources that the Ministry of Natural Resources, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is protecting. So I think the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is mandated to take care of the resources. The Ministry of Green Economy has come to tell the country, to show the country how we're going to use these resources to grow the economy. It's like, no, don't mine like this. We under the Ministry of Green Economy can show you how well to mine without, degrading the environment. So the Ministry of Green Economy is actually, let me put it, it's turning the natural resources into money, economic growth for us without damaging the planet. That's all I wanted to say. I hope I have explained, because people have been wondering. Some have been saying, okay, this green economy, if it's President HH now is President HH is now the president, why is he talking about a green economy, not a red economy? People have been actually thinking it's really about color, or it's about planting marijuana and all. But no, I hope I explained it. I've tried to simplify it in a layman's language. Thank you for watching. Fitch, I see you.